Out of 48 keyboards, we're going to find out today which one is the best for gaming. Welcome back to FTW Tech. I'm your host, Isaiah, and today I'm going to be doing the definitive keyboard tier list. Some of these keyboards are meant for gaming, some of them are not, but they're very popular for gaming and enthusiast PC builders. So as you can see on my screen, we have 10 tiers, believe it or not, and these are our keyboards. The reason this tier list is going to be so good is because I've got notes about every single keyboard. It took me hours to write these. I wrote notes about every single keyboard on here, so I will actually be able to say specific things that make each keyboard good or bad, whereas other people doing the same kind of video may sometimes forget certain aspects of a keyboard. Not me, because I've got it written down. So we're going to start. I don't want to hold you guys up. So we're going to start with the Alloy Elite 2 from HyperX. So the Alloy Elite 2, in fact, let me get my mouse over here. I thought I wouldn't be able to use it because the tripod's kind of in the way, but I'm going to use it anyways. I'm just going to up the DPI a bit. All right. So HyperX Alloy Elite 2, it's $130. It's got HyperX Red switches. Not a huge fan just because I'd rather them do a more standard switch. ABS pudding keycaps, multimedia keys and a volume wheel. It's full size, steel inside frame, but it's not fully steel or metal or anything. It's got a USB pass-through and onboard memory. I'm going to put it for now in meh, but that could change. HyperX Alloy FPS Pro, it is $70. It's a 10-key list. Cherry MX red, blue, or brown, steel inside frame, red backlit, detachable USB-C cable, and ABS keycaps. To me, it drops the multimedia keys and the volume wheel and the RGB. However, it's got, at least it's got cherry switches. I'm still going to put it one below. I'm sure HyperX switches aren't that bad. It's a lot cheaper though. It's a good value. Moving on. HyperX Alloy Origins Core. So this is $90. It's got RGB 10-key list. It's aluminum outside onboard memory. It's got HyperX Red or Aqua switches. Now the Aqua switches are super good and they don't increase the price. So this I'm actually going to put in great. The Obinslab Anne Pro 2, super popular. Bluetooth, no dongle though, not 2.4 gigahertz wireless. It's got a lot of switch options. Gateron, Kale, Cherry, 60% keyboard, PVT keycaps. It's good build quality, but the Bluetooth isn't good, so I would use it wired. But one of the main selling points is Bluetooth, but Bluetooth keyboards are not good for gaming. It's not a good connection, so I'm gonna, just because that's the main marketing tool used to sell it, is the Bluetooth connectivity, I'm gonna put it in meh. SteelSeries Apex 5, it's hybrid. Is there anything more to say? It's going in the bottom tier, hybrid switches. The Apex 7 TKL, $130. SteelSeries red, blue, or brown. See, that's their proprietary switches though. That's an issue. It's got the OLED display as well. Aluminum on the outside. ABS keycaps though. Volume wheel, magnetic wrist rest, cable routing underneath. It's ABS as well, and not the best switches. However, it does have that cable routing, magnetic wrist rest, so I'll put it one above the. Actually, the switches aren't as good. I'll put it in the same tier. Apex Pro. Oh, okay. Or no, this is Apex 7. It's $160. It's the exact same, but it's bigger. And for that, I'm gonna move it down one just because I prefer smaller keyboards. This is the Apex Pro TKL, so it's got the OmniPoint adjustable switches. Those are perfect for a lot of people. ABS keycaps at $180 completely confuses me. It's got the OLED display at least, the volume wheel, the onboard memory, all that good stuff though. And it is technically better than the Apex 7 TKL, so I'll put it in good. But that's got Aqua switches, but that's got adjustable. Okay, I'll put it in great. Alright. The Apex Pro, it's the same, except it's more expensive and bigger, so I'll put it one tier below. That's what I'm going to do for ones that are bigger and they cost more. That just seems dumb to me, because I like smaller keyboards. Although, I get why they should cost more if they're bigger, because, you know, more materials. So, put that in good. Razer BlackWidow V3 Pro, $230. Crazy high-end board. There's a wired V3 for $140. It's also available in pink. This one though has hyperspeed wireless or wired or Bluetooth. Razer green or yellow switches. Don't love that. Double shot ABS keycaps. At least they're double shot, but they're still ABS. Partial aluminum, not fully aluminum. Multimedia keys, volume dial, wrist. It's got all the features, but it's got Razer switches. But it's wireless. But the price is pretty hard pill to swallow. I'll put it in great. I can't put it too crazily high. Actually, I think they fixed their stabilizers. I'll put it in awesome. Cooler Master CK530 V2. It's $90, great deal. Gateron red, blue, or brown wrist rest, non-detachable cable, aluminum top plate, but not the other ones. But it's better quality than the other gaming brands though. Their keyboards are pretty good quality, good stabs and stuff. However, it's ABS keycaps, and that will make me put it. Wait, what is this? This is the TKL, so I'll put it in meh. And then I'll put the full size in sus. So this is the CK550 V2. It's $100, so $10 more. It's the same, except it's bigger. The Clix X Matrix keyboard. So $115. It's a 60% keyboard. Gateron red, brown, or blue, or speed silver. PBT keycaps. It's water resistant, well, spill resistant, really. Hot swappable, but it's full plastic, but presumably slightly higher quality plastic like the Ducky boards. The cable is on the left side of the board, which is good. It's a pretty good value. It's full plastic though. I'll put it in awesome. It's truly really good. All right, Drop Alt. The Drop Alt. Wow, $180. It looks sick, by the way. 65% keyboard, RGB, fully aluminum, hot swappable, black or gray, cherry, Kaihua, or halo switches, or hollow. I don't know how you say it. I actually don't think I've heard of those switches, or maybe just briefly. The Kaihua and hollow. It's $180. Hard pill to swallow. But it's one of the best build quality keyboards out there, and I'm gonna put it, I can't get all the way to the top, but that's going in God tier. It has to. That's the first God tier keyboard. The drop control is the same, except it's bigger, and it is TKL though. But TKL, okay, just because they increased the price to $200, I'm gonna put it in insane instead of God, but TKL is still an acceptable form factor for me. Okay, an interesting keyboard next, the Mountain Everest Max, fully modular. It's $270 to $310. It depends on what switches you get. If you want to go with PBT or ABS keycaps, which the PBT keycaps are $30. It's RGB, fully modular. Now you can put the numpad on either side. You've got multimedia controls with an LED display on the top left or the right. Detachable wrist rest, full size or TKL. Macro keys like the Stream Deck, like customizable, like with the screen on the numpad, and it's got some cherry switch options. It's a cool concept, but the pricing is absurd. I can't really put it above great. It's a really good concept, and I think it's a great symbol of things to come. Do I want to put it in great or awesome? Because you have an option for aluminum frame and all the features that I like that push it way up there by $300, I'll put it in awesome because it has all the good features. The pricing just seems insane to me. Logitech G, like if the pricing of that keyboard, by the way, is like $200, it would be in God tier, to be honest. Mountain Everest, oh, I just did that. Logitech G Pro X, it's $150, 10 keyless, RGB, hot swappable, but only with Logitech's own GX switches. It comes with GX blue or red or brown by default and has a detachable micro USB cable, not Type-C, and it's being phased out by the G915. It's kind of an older keyboard. It's hot swappable with only GX switches. Like, they're literally losing good PR. I'm gonna put that in bad. So it's gonna be the lowest ranking mechanical keyboard so far. The Logitech G Pro is the same, but it comes with only GX Blue. Not completely sure if it's hot swappable, but it's also one of those old keyboards. Because I'm not totally sure, I'm gonna put it in the same tier. The G915 TKL, $230, light speed wireless or Bluetooth. It can be used to connect to multiple devices at once by connecting with like one each, kinda, and you could swap between them. But RGB, TKL, multimedia controls, and volume wheel, low profile design. So it's got the GL, clicky, tactile, or linear. It's got a battery indicator and a detachable micro USB cable for charging instead of Type-C. It is just for charging, but still, if you do want that aesthetic, like custom cables and such, you'll want to look elsewhere. It's wireless. It's expensive though. It's got low profile switches, like I said. Okay, it's a good board. I'll put it in. I'll put it in awesome. Should I? I'll put it in awesome. The G915 non-TKL, $250. It's the same, except it's bigger. So, actually, I don't like the idea of wireless keyboards. I'm gonna move that down to great, and I'm gonna put this in good. Along with like the ones that are bigger and more expensive, they go one tier below. So, okay, HK Gaming GK61 super budget keyboard at $60. It's got Gateron silent brown or optical Gateron switches. Many colors available. RGB 60%, double shot ABS keycaps. RGB full plastic. Probably not the best quality plastic, but at least It's got all those colors available. It's got double shot ABS keycaps instead of PBT, but I mean, you're on a really tight budget if you're getting this board. The switch options are okay. I'm gonna put it in sus. It's a decent value, but as a board, it's kind of eh. Glorious GMMK, really cool concept, and this time they actually executed very well with price and everything. So this is one of the pioneer hot swappable boards, pretty much. It's $110. You can get it TKL or 60% for the same price, though. Hot swappable switches, comes with Gateron Brown switches. It's got double shot ABS keycaps, RGB. The cable is removable for the 60% in TKL only, not for the full size, though. It's fully plastic. You can also just buy the frame of any size for just $60 and supply your own switches and keycaps. So, but it is full sized, and the cable's in the middle, and it's not detachable. Really good concept. They executed. I would go with one of the smaller options. I'm gonna put this in meh. Okay, Razer Huntsman TE, great value board, super good value board. Can't stress that enough. This is, I believe, before they fix their stabs. I don't know if they're fixing the stabs on boards that have already been in production, but if they are, then you should cop it instantly. $130, TKL RGB, PBT keycaps, onboard memory, Razer linear optical switches, detachable USB cable, full plastic, unfortunately, but it's standard layout, unlike other Razer boards. For the value alone, this has got to go in insane. I'm sorry, at $130, you're getting optical switches. You are getting PBT keycaps, onboard memory, a detachable Type-C cable, and a standard layout, which you don't get on most Razer boards. Just for the value's sake, that will go in insane. That should be a cop for anyone in Razer's ecosystem. You should buy that. Corsair K100, flagship keyboard, but it's actually not wireless. $230. Full-sized RGB, it's got some macro keys with Stream Deck integration, which I love. Multimedia keys and volume wheel, customizable dial as well. Standard layout, unlike some Corsair boards, they're learning there as well, like Razer did. 4,000 Hz polling rate, which is unprecedented. Corsair optical OPX, or which are linear switches, or Cherry MX Speed Silver switches. It's got a magnetic wrist rest, cable routing underneath, and onboard memory. Great features. Price is kind of... I don't think I can put it higher than the OmniPoint adjustable, so I'll put it in great. Because I would buy the Apex Pro TKL just as much as I would buy this. Okay, Redragon K552 Kumara. This is the cheapest keyboard on here. It's $35, insanely popular. Utemu blue switches, which are terrible. It's 10 keyless, red backlit, not RGB, although you can get an RGB version for just a tiny bit more money. Aluminum on the outside, which is impressive for the price. ABS keycaps, however, it is spill resistant, but and it's USB 2.0, not 3.0. If I put these Logitech keyboards in bad, I have to put it in terrible. It's the lowest quality of any of the mechanical keyboards on here. However, that's to be expected with the price, and I do recommend it. If you're looking for like the cheapest mechanical keyboard out there, I'd get it. But I'm doing quality in general here and also factoring in price, but I will say the quality is just not good. Utemu Blues are very bad switches. All Utemu switches are pretty bad. Okay. What's next? Where are we? The Corsair K55. So it's got membrane switches at $50. That means it's going to go in the membrane category below all the others. I made this tier list, by the way. I put in all the pictures and everything, so feel free to use it. I'll link it down below if you guys want to make a video with these keyboards. Anyways, it's got a detachable wrist rest, macro keys with Stream Deck integration. Cheapest keyboard to have those, but still, it's membrane. It's got multimedia keys, dust and spill resistant, RGB, full size, onboard memory at least, but the cable's fixed, you can't remove it. Anyways, it's membrane, it has to go down there. We're gonna go with the K60 Pro from Corsair. I believe they had a K60 a long time ago, but they have a new version of it, so they've got the... I think they used to have an old one, don't quote me on that. So the new version is the K60 Pro, RGB Pro SE, and RGB Pro LP. So it's $90 to $110 depending on the variant. The K60 Pro has RGB and Cherry Viola switches, but no wrist rest, and it has ABS keycaps. The SE has a detachable wrist rest and PBT keycaps for $100. The K60 Pro LP has Cherry MX low profile speed switches, but no detachable wrist rest for $110. So it's got... the K60 Pro, I couldn't really find anything on, so I think it's just the RGB Pro, really. There's supposed to be a non-RGB version, actually, so there's actually 3 variants, not 2. I would get that middle one, the SE. It's got the wrist rest and PBT keycaps at $100. That's a good value. But we're going over the lineup in general here. It's got aluminum outside, onboard memory, full size, cannot attach the wrist rest unless it comes with it. That's a big thing. So if you do get the low profile version or the RGB Pro non-SE that don't come with the wrist rest, and you buy that wrist rest separately, you can attach them, I'm pretty sure. So that just seems dumb to me. Anyways, I'm gonna put this, it's a decent value. Cherry Viola switches are new and relatively untested. I don't think it can go above the Logitech keyboards, because they do have like kind of similar stuff going on. And I would not really put it on, wait a minute. I'll put it here. I'll put it there because I can't put it below the FPS Pro. Some things need to move up, I think. This is the Apex Pro. This is the Apex 7 TKL. On account of being smaller, I'm going to put it one more up, which means I'll have to put this here. Actually, no, I'm going to put this 2 below, believe it or not. I'm going to put it 2 below. I don't think it's on par with the GMMK, but okay, no, I'm changing my mind here. GMMK is moving up. Apex 7 standard, that's moving up as well. The Alloy FPS Pro is moving down. The Cooler Master boards will stay here and here. All right, there we go. We are on to the Keychron K8. This is kind of meant for Mac and like pro users, not really enthusiasts. It's pretty weird, to be honest, or like enthusiasts that run Mac. It's a weird niche. It's $70 to $100. It depends on if you go like white color or not, RGB. Oh no, I mean white LEDs, RGB, or RGB and aluminum frame. And you can get Gateron mechanical, Keychron optical hot swappable, or Gateron mechanical hot swappable. I'd get the Gateron mechanical hot swappable, as I have no idea if Keychron switches are even decent. It's Gateron, or you could also get a Gateron. Out of those switches, you have the option of red, blue, or brown for each of those categories. So it's 10 keyless, has RGB in some variants, Bluetooth connectivity, or detachable USB-C, ABS keycaps. I don't like the ABS keycaps. I don't like that there's no dongle and it's just Bluetooth. So I actually am gonna have to put this in terrible. What about the Anne Pro 2? In meh. Nah, they market it as wireless. It's gonna go down one. All right. I don't understand the hype behind the Anne Pro 2, really. Bluetooth is not sufficient for gaming. We're going to go with the K95 RGB Platinum XT from Corsair. Slightly below flagship. It's been phased out by the new K100, but it's a little cheaper. I thought I'd include it anyways as a last-gen product. I mean, I included some kind of last-gen Logitech products too, so. It's $200, has a non-standard layout, unfortunately. It's full-sized, has macro keys with Stream Deck integration, multimedia keys, and a volume wheel, RGB, PBT keycaps, Cherry MX Blue or Brown or Speed Silver, cable routing underneath, and onboard memory. So it's just a slightly downgraded K100, and for that I'll put it in good, because the K100 isn't great. The AORUS K9, so I think it's kind of sad. It's a sad attempt to make good keyboards from Gigabyte, MSI, Asus. Not really a sad attempt, but they don't market it, so they're not getting sales. Like, nobody knows those keyboards exist. It's like, stay in your lane. Like, these companies are not keyboard companies, but they're trying keyboards anyways. That's not going to make me biased, though. We're going to go through the stuff here. So, I think it's overpriced at $140. It does have cable routing underneath. It is spill resistant. It has Flare Tech optical switches. Who knows what the hell those are? They haven't been tested. Nobody knows what they are. I mean, what the hell? They're optical, but they're from a no-name brand. Or if they are name, I haven't heard of them, and I'm a relatively keyboard enthusiast kind of person. So it's RGB, full size, it is hot swappable, I will say that. So if you want to switch out the switches, you can. That's the saving grace of this keyboard, and that's why it's not going to be super low. But it's ABS keycaps. It comes with 9 switches in the box that are attached to PVT keycaps, so you can swap in 9 switches. That's kind of weird and random, though. The hot swappable nature of this keyboard is going to slot it into bad instead of terrible. And that's where I'll put it. The G.Skill KM780R RGB, I don't really know why I included it. It seems the KM780 RGB non-R is a little more popular. I just wanted a good representation of different brands in here. Nobody really knows what this keyboard is, but it's $85. It's a really good value, and I was considering buying it for a while. It's got Cherry MX blue, red, or brown switches, onboard memory, full-size RGB detachable wrist rest, multimedia buttons, and volume wheel. It has a really weird design though. It's got an aluminum outside and one USB and 2 audio port pass-throughs, like headphone jack / audio, you know, that kind of thing. So to me, it's a really good value, but the design is so polarizing. It has a lot of really good multimedia controls. It has something where you can like hide mouse cables. I guess that's cable routing, but I didn't really know if it was. It could have been like that thing on the front. Not really sure about this board. It seems to be a good value though, and for that, I'll put it in sus. We're gonna go with the Thermaltake Level 20 Titanium. This is another not very popular board, but I really did want brands to be represented, so it's $140 to $150 for MX Blue or Speed Silver switches respectively. Full sized, it has RGB, multimedia controls, and volume wheel, aluminum on the top plate only, audio and USB pass-through, just one of each. Compatibility with the Thermaltake mobile app that allows for voice control of the keyboard, a virtual game controller on mobile for PC. So like you can connect to this keyboard somehow with the app and use your phone to control your computer. But I doubt it has like long-range wireless stuff, so it seems pointless. Like, you'd have to be close to your keyboard to use that functionality anyways. So why not just use the keyboard? It's very weird to me. And you can also use your phone as the keyboard on the computer. Also, I don't know why I just had a Minnesotan accent when I said phone, but it's just phone. Anyways, I just say it phone. I don't know why I did that. It works with Amazon Alexa for some reason. So they're trying to pack pointless features into this board. It's really weird, but it has a pretty sleek design and they still managed to price it decently. So this is just a really weird board to me. It fits into a weird spot. The cable's in the middle, which I don't love, so I'll put it in bad. But the features are so pointless. I'm so confused with that keyboard. We're going to move on to the Ducky One Mini V2. We all know where this is going. It's $120 to $125 depending on the switches. It has lots of cherry and kale box switches options. It's fully aluminum all the way through, 60% RGB PVT keycaps. It has 10 more PVT keycaps included in the box, and they're colorful and stuff, which is interesting. And it's got a detachable USB-C cable. The cable's on the correct side of the board. We all knew where this was going as soon as we saw it. This is a god tier keyboard. It's my board that I have, except I have the creator edition of it. That's a god tier board, 100%. Where are we? Fnatic Mini Streak. I was considering this board as well because it's got silent red switches for just $100. Not bad. However, sorry you just heard that notification on my iPad, but so the Fnatic Mini Streak, it's $100 or $110 for Kale Speed Silver or Cherry MX Silent Red switches respectively. I found it on Best Buy for a while, on Best Buy's website with Silent Reds for $100, and I think MX Browns for $90. For some reason on their website, it didn't advertise coming with MX Browns at all. So I only had the Kale Speed Silver written down. I think the MX Browns would be $90 wherever you can find that though. So I'd suggest getting it with MX Browns if you like tactile switches for sure. $90, good value. And it had a wrist rest too on Best Buy's website. So it's 10 keyless, got multimedia controls, RGB. It's got a metal top plate. The keycaps are unfortunately ABS. It will soon have the option for a customizable signature plate, like with your name on it, that you can put on the keyboard's frame. Kind of weird, but it's really cool. Honestly, it's a cool concept. I shouldn't say it's weird. It's a cool concept. I'm excited for that. It comes with a wrist rest on some websites, but it's not really advertised on Fnatic's website. It's really weird to me. It's like barely shown on Fnatic's website, and when you order it off of their store, however, I don't even think it comes with one. Or if it does, it's not pictured. So it's really weird. They should really be advertising that more and including it if they're not. Kind of weird. There's some confusion there. On Best Buy, it had a wrist rest and better prices than it did on Fnatic's website, but it doesn't seem to be available much on Best Buy's website anymore. And for all the confusion, and the ABS keycaps, the marketing is kind of confusing, but the customizable signature plate's cool. I'll put it in bad, I guess. I was thinking about terrible, but I'll put it in bad. That's the biggest category now with the most keyboards in it, I mean. So we're going to go with the Ducky X Varmilo Maya Pro. Great keyboard. $100 to $160. Big discrepancy there. Depends on one of many designs and also switch options. So some designs have RGB, some don't. It's a 65% keyboard, Cherry MX black or brown or blue or red or clear or speed silver or silent red switches, all from Cherry. It's full plastic, but it's likely the high quality plastic that other Ducky and Varmilo boards use. And it's got PBT keycaps, so it's like the Ducky One 2 Mini kinda, but it seems a little worse. So for that, I'm gonna put it in not insane, but awesome. And also it's got a slightly jacked up price compared to the 1 2 Mini. I don't really see the point. So I'm gonna put it in awesome, and this is a good spot for the 1 2 Mini, of course. And that's where we are now. So the Ducky One 2 Mini V2, it's $100 to $110 depending on the switch. It's a 60% keyboard. It's got RGB. It's black, unlike many Ducky boards which have crazy designs and colors and stuff. Some of them not too crazy. They're understated, but still cool. It's full plastic, but it's really high. It's high quality plastic, highest quality plastic you'll find in like pretty much any keyboard that's full plastic. It's got many Cherry, Gateron, Kale, or TTC switches. Not totally sure what those are. It's got PBT keycaps, detachable USB-C cable, and comes with 10 extra colorful PBT keycaps in the box, just like that the Mecha Mini V2 does. This, as I said, is going to go into the insane tier. It's a great board. Definitely recommend copping. I'd get the Mecha Mini if you can stretch your budget a little bit, and if you could stretch your budget a lot and you really like the look and you want a hot swappable board, I would suggest the Drop Alt. I kind of wish I'd gotten the Drop Alt. Maybe my next board, who knows? I don't know. Or maybe they'll release a new one by then. Razer Ornata V2, it's got hybrid switches, but I don't buy the hybrid BS. It's basically membrane. So it's got hybrid switches, multimedia keys, and volume wheel. RGB, it's full size, has a wrist rest, cable routing underneath, ABS keycaps, unfortunately. The hybrid switches are made by Razer in-house, by the way, or at least branded as Razer switches, like their other switches are, many of them, but they're hybrid, so I can't put them higher than the membrane category. So the Asus ROG Strix Scope TKL Deluxe. So the picture here doesn't show the wrist rest because it's the non-deluxe version. I accidentally put in the non-deluxe version. I kind of forgot about the deluxe version, but I'm going to be going over the deluxe version, which has a wrist rest. It's $140, 10 keyless, RGB, has an aluminum top plate, magnetic wrist rest, detachable USB-C cable. It's got a stealth key, which is like a kind of laughable feature. Not laughable, funny though, humorous. Actually a cool feature though. It's got a stealth key. It closes all the apps and music that are open on your device, which is kind of funny. It really is funny. It's got Cherry MX red, brown, blue, speed silver, or silent red switches, onboard memory, and ABS keycaps, unfortunately. Very sick design, but the ABS keycaps and such, and the price is just a little bit high. It's got a wrist rest, but I'm going to put it in bad, along with like the Mini Streak, the level 20, and stuff along those lines. Actually, I'll put it in sus. I'll put it in sus. I just didn't like the features on the level 20. Build quality wise, if it didn't have weird features in marketing, I might put it up here. Yeah, I'm happy with this. These two are being phased out, so I only put them in here because they're old, and that's really it. Okay. ROG Strix Scope Deluxe, that's the full-size version of it. It's $140 as well. At least they didn't jack up the price. But it's bigger. But that really gives you choice. If a company's willing to not raise the price for that full-size board, I think it deserves to go in the same tier, to be honest. I've always put them one below, but I think if the company's willing to do that, I'll put it in the same one. It really gives a lot of power of choice to the consumers. That could mean they jacked up the price of the TKL to match that instead of bringing down the price of the full size to match the TKL. Either way, or they met in the middle somewhere, I don't know. I'm not trying to criticize them too hard, though. I would say they can go in the same tier because they're the same price, even though they're different sizes. The Cooler Master SK631, it's low profile, which is interesting, like some other boards on here. So it's Bluetooth, wireless, or wired via USB-C. I don't like that. It's Cherry MX low profile, red switches, aluminum top plate, 10 keyless, has RGB, onboard memory. Keycap material and price are unknown. That boggles my mind. So these never really shipped out. They never really like made a lot of units of these. They were very hard to get. Who knows if they're even gonna be easy to get. So the $120 Bluetooth SK621, which is identical but 60% instead of 10 keyless, that board's $120. So I'd speculate this is also $120, maybe $130. But I find it weird that there haven't been a lot of units made, and I also don't like the Bluetooth connectivity. and lack of dongle. So because of the stock issues and the fact that it's Bluetooth, I'm gonna have to put it in terrible. The SK651 is the exact same, but it's bigger. The price is probably slightly more than the SK621 and SK631. So the 621, which actually does have a lot of units that have been made, is 120. That's 60%. So I estimated this would probably be like the SK631 would probably be 130, 140. This means I'd probably estimate that the full size is like 150 maybe. But I can't put it below terrible because that's for membranes only. So I'll put it in the same category just because of stock issues. It has the same stock issues, by the way. The Fnatic Streak 65, another Streak lineup board from Fnatic, which is an esports team, but they've been making gear too, and their gear is actually pretty good, some of it. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's $110, 65% layout, RGB. It's got Fnatic's own low profile switches, which are also very silent and very fast. It's got aluminum on the outside, but not the inside. It's got factory lubed stabilizers, which is interesting. It's got a detachable USB-C cable and onboard memory. What I don't like about this board is it's got Fnatic's own switches, and that's the main downfall of this board. But the other features are pretty cool. Aluminum on the outside only, like I said, so Also, I don't know, I didn't see if these were PBT or ABS. Judging by Fnatic's other switches, they might be ABS. To be honest, that's one thing I did not record down here, so I'm gonna put it in. It's got Fnatic's own switches. I can't put it above bad if it's got Fnatic's own switches. So it looks like a lot of the stuff is slotting in down here. Really, the boards in meh or above, I'd buy. I don't think meh is a suitable category for these. These are all good boards that I would recommend, by the way. So yeah, we're gonna go with the Fnatic Streak now. So it's actually the same as the Mini Streak, which we went over a while ago. It's $130, so a slight price increase. It's the same but bigger. And for that reason, it will go one below, which would put it in terrible because the Mini Streak is the one that I'm moving my cursor on right here. Next, we have the Varmilo VA87M. This is one of their pre-built keyboards. However, you can completely customize your own pre-built board on Varmilo's website, which is really sick. Like, props to them for doing that. They're customizable keyboards. I'd put those in God or Insane tier, to be honest. Probably God tier, because their keyboards are very good value. Actually, not value. I meant build quality. I think they're good value too, actually, from what I remember. This one is $126 to $180. Huge discrepancy. Depends on one of many designs as well as switch types. 10 keyless, PBT keycaps, Cherry MX, brown, blue, red, speed silver, or silent red switches. It's fully plastic, but probably high quality plastic as it is Varmilo. Some designs have RGB, some do not. It's got that really, really good build quality, not hot swappable, I don't think. And it's not one of their customizable boards. I didn't include those, but like I said, I'd probably put those in God tier. Because just the fact that you can customize your own board is so sick. But this is not one of those boards. So, and also the big price discrepancy going up to $180, kind of weird. Starting at $126. I'll put it towards the top, but I can't put it too high because it's just some design. But it really is it's a good build quality board. What do I have it along with here? Yeah. I'll put it there. Okay. Durgod Venus. It's $100 to $150 depending on the switch. Most of them slot in around $130. A lot of the ones that people buy slot in around $130, like the most popular ones. It depends on the switch. It has a notable freezing issue, so I wouldn't recommend it. However, you've got several Cherry, Gateron, or Kale switch options. It's fully aluminum. It's meant to be a competitor to the Mecha Mini V2. However, it's missing the mark with that freezing issue, so it's 60%, has RGB, PBT keycaps, detachable USB cable, all those high quality features, but only thanks to the freezing issue. I'm going to put it one tier below the 1.2 Mini. The freezing issue does not occur in all boards, certainly not. Relatively small percentage, but it's notable enough that I am going to put it below even the full plastic 1.2 Mini, even though it's fully aluminum, just because of that freezing issue. I have to note that. I'm sorry. We're almost done, guys. MSI Vigor GK70. So it's $70 for the Cherry MX Red variant. I'm not totally sure what the Speed Silver variant's price is. I'd assume it's maybe $80, but I couldn't find that information. It's 10 keyless, RGB, aluminum on the outside, 4 metal and 12 rubber keycaps included in the box, cable routing underneath. The keycaps, as to whether they are ABS or PBT, I do not know. But at $70 for Cherry MX red switches and aluminum outside and stuff like that, pretty good value with cable routing underneath and a few better keycaps included for just like the, you know, WASD keys, and you can put the rubber keys on as well if you want to. I was talking about the metal ones, but yeah, so I don't really know. Because I don't know the price on the keycaps, I think the marketing's not that good. It's certainly a good value board at $70, but I'm gonna have to put it in bad because it's pretty unclear, some of the stuff about it. So we got 2 Roccat boards. We're gonna finish with the Roccat Vulcan series. So the Roccat Vulcan Pro is a $200 board, so flagship. It's full-sized, RGB, has multimedia controls, and a volume dial, optical Roccat Titan switches. Those switches have been tested to be decent, although they are still proprietary switches. I don't think the stems are... I don't think you can even swap the keycaps. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, you might be able to. I'm not totally sure. I don't think it's on cherry stems, though. Is it? I don't know. Maybe it is. Don't quote me on that. Seriously. Disregard what I said. I'm not sure. It's got a magnetic wrist rest, aluminum on the outside, onboard memory, but ABS keycaps for a flagship. I find that unacceptable. The Mac category is looking pretty bare. I'll put it right there. Put it right there. The Roccat Vulcan Pro TKL. That board is $160 instead of $200. It's the same as the Pro, except it has less multimedia controls, which means I will have to put it in good. Actually, I'm gonna put this in sus and this in meh because I cannot really align that with boards like the GMMK and the K95. The GMMK really is good quality. I would recommend it. One of the smaller versions, though. So that'll be it. Like I said, I forgot the Huntsman Mini. I'm sorry if you guys were really looking forward to that. But to recap, anything sus, even a lot of the keyboards in bad are totally acceptable. I wouldn't really recommend the ones in terrible, except the K552 Kumara, just because it's only $35. If you need a mechanical keyboard and you want one of the cheapest ones out there, that's not the worst. I mean, there are some ones that are even cheaper, like some PicTech, Chan Chow, stuff like that. But Redragon at least has somewhat of a reputation, a little bit, whereas those other brands don't. So I guess I'd recommend this, but it's so cheap and bad build quality. But like I said, it is cheap. So if you need a mechanical keyboard on the ultra budget, sure. Any of these boards are okay, but I probably wouldn't get them. Any boards in the sus category, I would say you can get them if you have a specific use case for them. There's a really, really good reason why you need it. Feel free to ask any questions down below. There are timestamps in the description as well. I suppose it's a little bit late to say that if you've made it this far. We've got the Mac keyboards I'd recommend. The Aqua switches on this board are a notable standout. People love those switches. Just some other features are kind of lacking, but the Aqua switches are great. The good keyboards, definitely you should consider them. The great keyboards are just that, they're great. The awesome keyboards, this is where we really start to get going. We've got some great quality options here. Totally would recommend them. Definitely consider them no matter what. You should consider those keyboards. I don't really know why I included the Clix one. It's popular among the Fortnite community, but it's not really super mainstream. I decided I'd include it because I come from the Fortnite community in Rocket League. If you guys don't know, I did gaming videos for a long time before I started doing tech. So, in fact, I mean, you probably know that because this is one of my first tech videos. Since I switched. I'm getting off on a tangent. The Insane keyboards, for sure get them. That's a drop control. The Huntsman TE, that only because it's a really good value. Only because it's a really good value. Only reason it's up there. It's got the really high build quality stuff, but it's only on par with the really good build quality of keyboards in the great category. However, it is cheaper. What's the HyperX board? Wait a minute. That's the Alloy Elite 2. This is the Aqua Switches board. This is the Aqua Switches board. This is the Alloy Origins core. Okay. So, yeah, the build quality, I would slot it in with these boards, but the price is lower, except, wait a minute. Not this, though. Although the Aqua switches aren't so redeeming that I put them up here. So anyways, but the switches on this, wait a minute, Razer switches though, aside from if they fix the stabs, which I don't know if they have on this, I want to actually move it down one, because while the value proposition is very, very good, it is as well on the Mecha Mini. It's about the same price, and you're getting a lot of those same features. So I'll actually move it down. So in Insane, we've got the drop control and the 1-2 Mini V2. Definitely get those. And then in God tier, we have the drop alt and the Ducky Mecha Mini V2. My ultimate recommendation, price to performance, is the Ducky Mecha Mini V2, as it is cheaper than the drop alt. If you've got the budget, the drop alt's a great option. I think it has a very striking look that is definitely interesting. So that was a long one. But I hope you enjoyed. I definitely hope that I went in depth enough for you guys. Feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe, whatever. Any questions, like I said, put them down below. I hope you enjoyed. That was FTW Tech. And yeah, see you guys.